Ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing the number one team in the whole damn country.
Welcome on in, guys, to the AZ Wildcats podcast, coming to you live from Studio K, presented by the fine folks over at Circle K, who always sponsor this podcast, of course, because we're always doing it out of Studio K here at PHNX HQ3. I'm Damon Fairall. He's Kevin Thomas. We are the AZ Wildcats pod, and we are, of course, presented by our friends over at Branded Bills. Head on over to brandedbills.com. Use promo code BBPHNX to get 15% off your first order over at brandedbills.com. Check out that campus collection for yourself. The best Arizona Wildcats headgear in the game. Kevin and I both rocking a Branded Bills tonight. I'm always rocking Branded Bills on this podcast. And Arizona is always rocking W's in the 2025-2026 season because we stay undefeated, Kevin.
Never lost.
Beating the number 20 Auburn Tigers by 29 points, damn near 30 points tonight, 97-68. And staking the claim as the rightful number one team in the land here, should the college basketball rankings come out on Monday. And Arizona is not number one. It would be a disgrace. We'll get into that as we get into the show. But first off, Kevin, just a great win all the way around tonight. Arizona, clearly just outclassing the Auburn Tigers, not really the same caliber of basketball team. You can see that. You saw it earlier with Auburn and how they played against Michigan, right? And I know a lot of people think Michigan maybe should be number one with how they've played, especially recently. Arizona goes and matches that immediately in their opportunity to do so. And Auburn, just came off of playing some of their best basketball of the season. So I think it's a great win for the Wildcats and probably the best all-around performance of the season, no?
Yeah, I sound like a broken record, but this was another game against another top 25 team and another statement win from the Arizona Wildcats. Another game where Arizona came in, and honestly, this was more so than any of their other top 25 wins, of which they now have 4. They punked Auburn. They came out here, and they absolutely punched Auburn in the mouth, and they had nothing to do in response to it. I'm not going to say that Auburn just absolutely, laid down in this game and did not have any fight for Arizona. There were moments where they fought back. They even retook the lead at one point early on in this one. They're just too talented to go through an entire game and not throw a punch. This was about as close to just the Michigan performance pretty much as you're going to get. They punked Auburn. If Tahaad Pettiford did not go off for 30 tonight, this game gets honestly uglier than the Michigan game. I'm just going to say that. This game would look a lot uglier than the Michigan game if Tahaad Pettiford did not go off for 30 in this one. 1 for 8 from Kevin Overton. 1 for 7 from Elijah Freeman. 1 for 4 from Caden Magwood. 1 for 6 from Williams Adams. And our guy, Keyshawn Hall, 3 for 11. Arizona's defense, what we're witnessing with the ability to out physical teams, out muscle teams, out rebound teams, just overall dominate from below, the 3-point line. It's special what we're witnessing. The ceiling of this Arizona team is a ceiling that Arizona fans have not seen in quite some time. And you know what I'm talking about. And I think when you can do this, I know it was at home, but it's not like Arizona hasn't done this away from McKale. They did something similar to UCLA. They did something similar to Florida. Right? Not in the same, point differential at the very end, but in the sense that they're going out there and there is nothing that you can do about how physical they are, how tough they are, how skilled they are. And it's going to be a problem for probably just about every team that Arizona faces this year. What a win. What a performance. You and I were going through, and we're going to get to our King of the Court. We're going to get to our by the numbers in this one. But you and I were going through, who should be our King of the Court tonight. And it was truly such a well-rounded team effort that there wasn't any one performance that stood out and was like, yo, that guy really bought like a Tahaad Pettiford on Auburn tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Where if anyone else played any semblance of good basketball tonight for Auburn, right, maybe they could make it somewhat of a close game, maybe, right? But Arizona was able to use all of their tools tonight to get the job done. Jaden Bradley was 16. Braden Burries was 16. Kharchenkov with 12 and 8 assists from Ivan Kharchenkov. 8 assists. And I'm not going to sit here and play this game because this would be loser talk, right? But just keeping it a stack, we all know he's not like, it's not like he's 100,000%. He's probably healthy. I'm not trying to overplay the ankle thing that he went through against Norfolk State, but it's not like he's feeling like fresh as a daisy coming right off the bed and ready to play. He's working back through this, and he had 8 assists tonight. Koa Peat, 18 points on 8 for 11. I mean, Anthony Dell'Orso, 11 points, some big ones in the first half of this game. What a performance from the Arizona Wildcats. You even get some Evan Nelson there at the very end. So what a night. What a win.
And you know that's all I really care about at the end of the day. As I said, I feel like Evan Nelson in a way is like he's the human victory lap. When Evan Nelson gets out there, that means good things are happening for the Arizona Wildcats. And I absolutely love it. Continue to put Evan Nelson out there on the court. But, looking at this game, it just, and the way that you are kind of talking about how the offense flowed tonight, it just felt like everything was coming easy for Arizona because of how physically more dominant they were than Auburn. Like every bucket was a high percentage look. There was a lot of looks down low with Krivas and with Koa Peat in particular. It felt like when there were misses, you were getting a lot of offensive rebounds from your bigs, which we've become pretty accustomed to that being a big plus in Arizona's side of things from a game-to-game basis. And then you finally get solid performances from the freshmen that have been a little bit more inconsistent. Braden Burries, Ivan Kharchenkov. Kharchenkov had the good night one against Florida, but I think in some of the other big games Arizona's played, he struggled a little bit. Aristode, hasn't really gotten the most run in these games against ranked opponents, but he gets more tonight than he's seen in previous games. 13 minutes, 8 points, 2 for 4, hits a three-pointer that felt pretty big at the time. So, that was good to see as well. And then the big one, Braden Burries in 29 minutes, goes 7 for 11, gets 16, as you already said, Kevin, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, only 1 turnover for Braden Burries. And I've noted that I'm going to be monitoring his turnover numbers for the rest of the season. I think it was the most well-rounded performance you've gotten of the year from this Arizona team. And obviously I already asked you that question, but it feels like it's because of the freshmen, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that not why we've seen Koa Peat perform like this? We've been waiting on the other guys to all show up at the same time. And you got that tonight, and this is what it looks like.
You know what else we got tonight? And you said this to me pre-show. We got Harvey Manfred Jensen in the chat. And you know what Harvey Manfred Jensen has in common with the Arizona Wildcats 2025-26 basketball team circa December 6th? They were number 1.
Number 1, baby.
Number 1. And I think when you ask me, like, is Arizona able to achieve this level of success against top 25 opponents because of their freshmen, I would say that the freshmen this year, specifically Koa Peat, has added a dimension to their offense that they did not have last year, right? He's added a verticality, he's added a physicality, and he's added a ability to collapse the defense in a way that Arizona was not able to do with consistency last season. I think Braden Burries, a night like tonight, he comes up and he plays a very good game, right, by Braden Burries standards, and I think really by any freshman standards, he played a very good game tonight. And if you can get that from Braden Burries, it takes the weight off of who I think is really leading your potential on this team, and that's Jaden Bradley. It takes weight off of his plate and allows him to really find his pockets like a great boxer, right? It allows him to really bob, weave, find his moments to really strike when the iron is its hottest. And I think that is where the freshmen on this team can take Arizona from a really good basketball team that has Big 12 title hopes to a team that could genuinely, we saw it tonight, be world beaters. Do stuff that no other team outside of Michigan this year is doing to teams in the top 25. And I think the freshmen specifically, like Ivan Kharchenkov, I was talking on TikTok about this, like preseason or like when the season kind of started to kick off,
TikTok,
about
man.
how can Ivan Kharchenkov take Arizona from Big 12 title hopeful to national championship contender. And if you have a guy on the wing, which is where Arizona really needs this production from the most, not from the guards where you got Jaden Bradley and you want Braden Burries to become that guy, so you really don't want to have to supplant production from him. And in the front court, you got Koa Peat, Tobe Awaka, who might be the best rebounder of all time, and Mo Krivas. You need the wings to really supplant and take you from good to great. And if Ivan Kharchenkov can score double-digit points and give you decent rebounding to really good rebounding and potentially pour in 8 assists,
Yeah.
and it's not just like you're playing against Norfolk State. Like, he's pouring in 8 assists from the wing as a freshman against Auburn at home is nothing to shake a stick at. You know what I'm trying to say here? And so to really answer your question, Arizona is not going to be propelled like the engine is not going to be the freshman. But the freshman can carry you over the finish line in a year where you have national championship aspirations. And I think that's what makes this team so special, because you know what Jaden Bradley's going to bring. You're learning what Matthias Krivas is going to bring every night because he just keeps getting better. Yeah. And we thought we knew who he was, and we were wrong to think that, because he said, no, I'm going to take all this time off. I'm going to get better. I'm going to grind. He's going to help propel this team forward as a part of that engine. Tobe Awaka, same thing. Every time Tobe Awaka gets in the game and gets a big team, Damon, doesn't he just like inject Arizona with so much physicality, energy, and strength?
It feels like there's like a handful of possessions where he just completely takes over. And he's like, when you are in a game like this, those extra possessions are so impactful, right? Because
1,000%.
Like when you finally miss a shot and you're like, Auburn feels like they got one over on Arizona. Yes, we forced a Koa Peat miss. This never happens. Let's get the rebound. Oh my God. It's the strongest man in the world that we have to go, compete with for this rebound. And the tournament versus Oregon is the best example of it. Like, Arizona is basically, on a life support system in that game until Tobe Awaka just goes in there and just says every miss, coming down with it, swinging bows, hurting people in the process. Get out of my way.
Ripping jerseys. Literally.
I mean, like, that's the last guy I would want to go toe-to-toe with if I was playing college basketball. And, it's a physical game, Kevin. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the cleanest basketball, but I don't want my centers to be playing the cleanest basketball when he's just like, I want him to give everything and fight to the death for a rebound. And Tobe Awaka continues to come up huge in these moments. And as Burry says, like, Krivas was solid again tonight, and his development has been extremely impressive over the last, handful of games here, 10 games, even really just the start of the season. Like, every time he plays, the top upper level competition, it feels like that is when Mo Krivas plays his best basketball. That's when he answers the call. So I don't know. It feels like as Harvey Manfred Jensen says, like, no one is going to out physical this team this year. It's in large part because your center rotation is so fresh constantly, but they're just also playing at such a high level, both of them. And if Krivas can continue to play the way that he has, I feel like we know what we have in Awaka. Like, that's about as steady of a player as it gets. But if Krivas can continue playing at this level, Arizona is extremely hard to stop.
They're incredibly hard to stop because usually you don't see this level of skill attached to this level of size. Usually, if you have a front court that is this big, this strong, they would be called plotting. They would be looked at as oafs, right? Like, you got multiple Zach Edey's out there. That's a bad example because he's actually an NBA quality player. But you get my point, right? Like, Mo Krivas being able to have
Hunter
the touch.
Dickinson.
Yeah, Hunter Dickinson is a great comparison, actually. If Mo Krivas was less skilled than he is, he would just be Hunter Dickinson. You know what I mean? And no one likes Hunter Dickinson, right? So, and I think Tobe Awaka, I was bringing it up there and you alluded to it, he just takes over in these games when you need a punch of energy the most. I might be recalling it incorrectly, but it feels like in the first half when Tobe took over, it was kind of like Auburn was giving that first punch back, right? And kind of saying like, no, we're not just going to get blown out tonight. And Tobe came out and said, yes, I think you are. Right? I'm going to grab every miss, like you said. I'm going to come down. I'm going to fight 2 Auburn players for it. I'm going to get the better of them. It's going to either be a jump ball or a foul on you guys. And I think that type of pressure, when we talk to Koa Peat, when we talk to Kobe Awaka, Kobe, we talked to Tobe Awaka and Koa Peat at Arizona Media Day, right?
We should tweet that if he hits a 3 this year. Tobe Awaka for 3.
Hits a 3 again this year.
Yeah, true.
Put some respect on Tobe Awaka. But
Next time.
We talked to them and they brought up rim pressure consistently as like something that is going to be like an earmark, an identity, an identifier for this team. Is the rim pressure that they present teams is not only unique, but it's a direct, correlation with success, right? The way Arizona was able to dominate the paint tonight, we can do our by the numbers right now because this is the gist of what I wanted to get to with our by the numbers, and we're gonna do that after our first break here on the AZ Wildcats podcast. So leave a like, drink your water, stick around, and don't go anywhere. You know, Damon, you and I, we sit here today talking to all of our best friends, Arizona Wildcat fans in the chat. Those of us that really get down with the Arizona Wildcats, we're here on the pregame, and we celebrate on the pregame every time with our friends over at Three Amigos Tequila. Now, I am partial to that Ramona's Reserve for 3 reasons. The 3 S's. It is sweet, it is well spiced, and it goes down smooth. But that's not it. They have multiple varieties of the best tequila out here in the valley, whether it's the Anejo, the Blanco, which is now available in Circle K, or like I said, the Ramona's Reserve. They have a ton of variety, and it's not just what I listed. So make sure to go check them out. Like I said, at Circle K for the Blanco, or any of the other places that dispense tequila, Three Amigos Tequila. Sorry, I don't know why that tripped me up so bad. But they are family owned from right here in the Valley, and we know we like to keep it within the family. So this season, tailgate, toast, and celebrate with the Valley's favorite tequila, Three Amigos.
Tequila dispensaries, otherwise known as liquor stores, grocery stores, Circle K's across the Valley. Go check out your nearest tequila dispensary, see if they got Three Amigos, and find a new one if they don't have that. But let's talk a little bit about Branded Bills. They always sponsor this fine podcast, and we love Branded Bills for the best Arizona Wildcats gear in the game. Whether it's a snapback, a fitted, a beanie, a trucker, even a t-shirt, Branded Bills has got you covered with the best custom apparel, and also the campus collection truly is special. If you're in Tucson, I know you are seeing people rock this campus collection because Branded Bills has taken over the Arizona Wildcats hat game. You go to the Arizona bookstore, there's an entire shelf specifically Branded Bills, branded Arizona Wildcats hats. Great stuff. Kevin and I rocking Branded Bills right now. I'm always rocking Branded Bills on the AZ Wildcats podcast. Premium headwear and apparel. Go check it out for yourself and use our promo code of BBPHNX to get 15% off your first order over at brandedbills.com. Again, that's BBPHNX, and you'll get 15% off your first order.
Yeah, I agree with you, Max. Tobe's stats really do rarely tell the full story of his impact, because when I looked at it tonight, Tobe Awaka, he had 7 rebounds, 6 points, 4 fouls, 4 turnovers. I would not have guessed his stat line looked like that. I would have guessed his stat line honestly looked a lot more like Mo Krivas, and that's not a shot at Mo. Because he had a good game. I just thought that Tobe had just as good, if not better, statistically of a game than Mo Krivas, who had 8 points, 9 boards, an assist, a block, a steal, 2 turnovers, 3 fouls. Pretty good game out of Mo Krivas. But we were talking about rim pressure before the break, Damon, and this is our By the Numbers presented by our friends over at DFCU, Desert Financial Credit Union. I mean, it's been running in the Valley for I don't even know how long. Our guy Eric Ruby's had a DFCU, a part of his family, since I think Pilgrims came to America. I don't know, but DFCU, the credit union, holding it down with our By the Numbers. 97-68, Arizona gets it done. Its 4th win against the top 25 team this season, and we are not even through December. Field goal percentage for Auburn, not pretty tonight. A team that came into this one shooting damn near 50% from the field as a team. From the field as a team, shoots 33% tonight. Arizona shoots a crazy 61%. 40 from 3. 40 from 3. All those people out there that think that Arizona needs to start hucking up threes, or that they don't have shooters, or whatever side you're on, they shot 40% tonight. And they shot just as many makes as Auburn did on about half the attempts. Rebounds, pretty close when you think about the outcome of this game, 40-34. And now this is where I wanted to really get into. This is the meat of this conversation. 60 points in the paint, Damon Dog, to 24 for Auburn. Arizona almost beat Auburn just in the paint. That is unbelievable to think about. 15 turnovers to 13 turnovers. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Get that out of here. Forget about that. When I made this graphic, Damon, I did not have to change Auburn's points in the paint from Norfolk State's points in the paint. Norfolk State put up 24 points in the paint last game against Arizona. Auburn put up 24 points in the paint. Arizona put up 58 points in the paint, I believe, against Norfolk State. I did not double check it. 60 tonight against Auburn. You do not see teams dominate top 25 opponents. I know they were at home. You do not see teams dominate in the paint like that against like mid-major or lower level teams and then replicate it against top 25 teams. Arizona did that exact thing tonight. 68 total points for Auburn, 60 points in the paint for Arizona. And so, while I think modern basketball has us wanting Arizona to have this crazy, like, high-paced, dynamic three-point shooting offense, they have a very dynamic two-point shooting offense that leads to open three-pointers. We saw guys like Jaden Bradley hit 2 threes tonight. We saw guys like Dwayne Aristode hit a big corner three in this one. He did go 1 for 3 to finish it, but you get my point here.
Yeah.
Extremely impressed with the like rim pressure that Arizona is able to create against very high-level teams. They made Auburn look pedestrian, but Auburn is not pedestrian. And that really blew my mind when I saw that stat.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. The points in the paint more than Auburn is insane, more than their team total. But yeah, I mean, listen, Kevin, we've had the conversation about the 3-point percentage or the 3-point attempts actually. And I've said like, I wanted to see like 15 to 18 attempts per game. They shot 15 tonight. I'm not asking for.
It sounds like we know ball.
I'm not asking for, a fast-paced NBA team style of 3-point attempts where you're shooting 35 plus a game. I'm asking for just enough volume where they have to respect it. And I think that tonight was a product of the points in the paint being so effective that it opened things up from a perimeter perspective. And I think that that's when Arizona's playing their best basketball. That's how it's going to be all season long. Guys beating their man on a drive and finding Dwayne Aristode wide open in the corner, camping there, waiting for that exact opportunity to shoot that shot. So I like that 15 number. I don't want them to rely upon 3-point shooting, but I think that was like a solid spot to be in, especially tonight. You make 6 of them, it ends up being 40%.
Do I need to start adding attempts to the by the numbers? I think that would actually, at least for the 3-pointers.
Yeah, you should put the percentage in parentheses next time and put the overall number on with the dashes in it. Yeah, that would be helpful.
I like that. I think that would help illustrate the conversation that Damon and I are trying to have. But I know we've been on the other side of the coin. I think all this means, Damon, is that you and I know ball when our heads are put together. I'm saying, you don't need to huck a bunch of threes. We're going to be high efficiency.
There's
on
a good
low
yin
volume
and yang thing going on
and
here,
you're
Kevin.
saying, I don't need it to be super high. Let's get to 15. You get that sweet spot. We're cooking with gas, folks.
Now, I know that this might shock some people, and people might think that there's like a Mike Greenberg, Mike Golick situation going on here where we actually hate each other when we get off of air. But Kevin and I actually get along really well. I think that this like the differences in personality, like my negativity combined with his overt positivity, it really balances things out when you're talking about just, what the happy medium really should be at the end of the day. It's special stuff.
Very well said.
What else is special, Kevin, and this is that's a professional transition there, is these super chats that we received tonight. Let's go ahead and hit them. White Burrito 29, $2. The ladies love Kharchenkov.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
Tongue out, baby. Freaky eye.
Fascinations, we do have a promo code. Billy Wayne.
Check out the description for that one.
Billy Wayne Barton, thank you for your super chat. Who says, I've watched some very good Arizona teams going back to Sean Elliott days, then 97, and then the 2001 team. But this team has a ceiling, has a chance to have a ceiling that is higher. Let's go.
I love
Thank
it,
you,
Billy.
Thank you, White Burrito, for your super chats. Man. I mean, the ceiling of this team.
It's like a few other people said it too, Kevin. Like, it feels like this team is about as well-rounded as it gets when talking about Arizona basketball teams. And that's scary. That's a scary thought when you consider some of the elite teams that have been in this university's history. Like this, we are in the midst of a season that could be right up there with all the best of them.
You know what?
It doesn't necessarily have to culminate in a national championship, but it definitely has to culminate in some wins in March. But this non-conference has, I mean, I don't think even the most positive of Arizona fans would be, you'd be hard pressed to find the ones that would be like, yeah, we're going to go into Stores and beat them, and then we're going to go into LA and beat UCLA, and like just listing off every single ranked opponent that we were talking about is the biggest gauntlet schedule maybe in the history of modern college basketball, like since the 21st century turned.
Yeah, it's up
this
there,
is
yeah.
insane.
It's
I've never seen anything like it, and to be witnessing it front row, like, you know, me, you, the rest of the chat has, it's a special thing to be a part of.
It is, and to back you up on that, this was from the broadcast of ESPN, so I'm assuming it's their ESPN stats research division, whatever the hell. They said that 6 of the last 7 and I think 8 of the last 10 or 12 national champions have both been undefeated and ranked through November, and that is what Arizona has been able to accomplish this year. Pardon me, and I think that is, while usually these stats are like pretty much like, okay, wake me up in March, man. Like, I don't care how many teams have done this, that, and the third with this amount of points per game and that amount of rebounds and on this amount of days that it rained throughout the month. Like, I don't care. But I do think it's genuinely interesting that 6 of the last 7 were able to be undefeated, which is a win-loss metric. It's not like some fake metric. Win-loss metric through November. If you're undefeated and you're ranked, you have a great chance of being in it at the end and maybe winning the whole damn thing. So,
Inject it.
I'm saying there's a chance, chat. I'm saying there's a chance.
And Kevin, I'm saying inject it into my veins.
Main
directly.
line.
Red line.
Red line.
You saw Brent Brennan out there tonight going crazy.
You know, there was once a time where
my guy is living life, Kevin.
Yeah, he is.
Brent Brennan
As he should.
is riding a high right now, and he should. You're right.
As he should.
He got crushed more than I've almost ever seen an Arizona coach get crushed last season, and I feel like the pendulum has swung fully to the point where now we're emotional in the positive sense. I love it.
Yeah, I was about to say there was a time like last year where if Brent Brennan popped out to a game, I actively would have been like against it. I would have said, get him away from Tommy Lloyd now.
Get his stank away. I
Get
think
it
you would
away.
have said. Yeah.
Possibly. Who knows? But this year, you see him at the game, and Cohen Kinney, our guy, is out here tweeting like, no wonder Arizona's doing so good.
They got winning rubbing off on him from courtside.
They got winning at the game. He just can't stop getting W's. And I'm like, dude, the turnaround we've had is unbelievable.
It really is.
But Damon, we do have more to get to on this AZ Wildcats podcast post-game show. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, drop a comment in the chat. Let us know if you think Arizona has a chance to win a national title this year. Is this the best Arizona team you've ever seen? Drop a comment in the chat. We'll be right back after this quick break. And if you want to get right back after a serious accident or a serious injury, the husband and wife law team, they might not fix you up medically, but they can get you right legally. They are one of just 1% of lawyers in the state of Arizona that have been certified to specialize in injury and wrongful death lawsuits. That's right, just 1%. And the team brings hundreds of years of combined trial experience, multiple certified specialists in personal injury and wrongful death. Mark and Alexis Breyer are the husband and wife law team. You might see Mark Breyer. I saw him on TikTok today. He was on a party bus, getting down with the locals. Not doing nothing crazy, but celebrating probably a trial victory. I'm speculating. But if you want to be a part of this success and you've experienced a serious injury or wrongful death, the practice is 100% dedicated to those things. And of course, nobody can guarantee a W in the outcome of their case. However, there are some promises that they can make to you. A couple of those are you can contact them anytime, any place, about any topic that you want to, and that is not the case with Mark. Did you see what Tommy Lloyd and the company were able to do tonight? We have trial tomorrow at 6 a.m. What are you?
Center rotation Tommy Lloyd has going this year is unbelievable.
And you have the right to trust that they, as your lawyers, will tell you both the strengths and the weaknesses of your case. So if you have had a serious injury, call the husband and wife law team. Write this number down. If you haven't, I'm going to be annoyed with you for not listening to me. 602-783-8841. Like I said, write this number down. Unfortunately, you never know when you might need it. 602-783-8841. That is the number of the husband and wife law team. If you want to go to their website, their link is in our show notes below.
Love it, Kevin. And another thing I got my fair share of that I love, of course, when I was at the University of Arizona, a little bit of Smirnoff in my system. Who here, show of hands, everybody there should be raising their hands, had their fair share of Smirnoff in Tucson when they were attending the University of Arizona? I know I did. And of course, I wish that the spicy tamarindo flavor was more of a thing before my later years in college, Kevin, because it came out, I believe, like my senior year, and that is special stuff over on at State Farm Stadium on December 21st. Their Smirnoff is giving fans the chance to try their exciting signature serves featuring the spicy tamarindo flavor. And plus, there's a game day specific opponent themed drink that will be going on. Go check that out for yourself. Check out that Smirnoff Spicy Tamarindo truck. And of course, get your Smirnoff wherever you get your alcohol at. I know a great place to get it, Circle K, of course. So if you're cheering on the Cardinals in person against the Atlanta Falcons on December 21st, don't forget to stop by and see our friends at the Smirnoff truck. I know we got some Cardinals fans crossover in here. So if you're going to that game, check out that Smirnoff truck.
Check out that Smirnoff truck, and we are about to get our guy Saul Bookman in here momentarily live from the McKale Center. And I'm excited to talk to Saul because this man right here, Saul Bookman, welcome to the podcast. You have been through a couple games this year that maybe should have been more exciting down the stretch than they ended up being. And luckily, there was some pretty good hoop being played tonight, all day, actually. But you got to see an Arizona Wildcats team get a near 30-point victory at home. How are we feeling? How are the vibes? And what are some of your initial takeaways?
Okay, so that's a lot to unpack right there. That was a loaded question. Okay?
And we're running ISO Saul Bookman ball right now.
Okay, so full disclosure, tonight was my daughter's very first Arizona basketball game in the Zona Zoo as a freshman here at the University of Arizona. It could have been any better in the first half. Like, she got the full loud experience. It was awesome. So for that reason, this was a special game for me to be able to see her enjoy that. And so that was cool. The vibes were high. They were immaculate. This is why you come to Arizona when you feel the way this. I mean, listen, this is the only legit non-conference game we get here all season, and the crowd reacted like it. It was awesome. Outside of that, I do think, and Tommy Lloyd did echo these thoughts, this is the most complete game that Arizona has had all year from top to bottom, the most evenly distributed game amongst the players that they have had all season long. Everyone from Braden Burries, who we were questioning, is he going to finally have a legitimate game against a Power 5 or Power 4 team? He did tonight. He played very solid on both ends of the floor, didn't make silly fouls, was a good distributor, was good in spot minutes when Jaden Bradley was needing a rest. Kharchenkov, man, we'll get into Kharchenkov because Jaden Bradley, you know how I feel about Jaden Bradley. I'm sorry. Koa Peat's wearing like a very glittery and it's a look. It's a look.
It's a choice.
It is.
It is. Here we go. Oh, he's
yeah.
stunned. You made it sound weak. That's a cool jacket.
No, I didn't say that. It was
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you, Saul. Usually when someone looks at my clothes and goes and bends over at the hip laughing, I don't feel very good about my fit in that moment.
That means Kevin wore his Dole Bananas shirt.
It looked very much like Michael Jackson on the Grammys, did it not?
That's fair. No, yeah. Sometimes when people with wealth have some clothes, to the average person, it's like I don't even know what I'm looking at. And then you look at it again, you're like, okay, I kind of like what he's walking with. I like that.
It's probably like a $5,000 jacket. So it's something I'm never going to be able to afford in my life. So hey, it is what it is. Anyway, back to my point. Jaden Bradley, we all know how I feel about Jaden Bradley. He's at the top of the Mount Olympus for Arizona athletes in my book. But Ivan Kharchenkov is creeping up there because, man, that guy did a fantastic job tonight. Everybody was solid all the way around. Great team win. So the vibes are high.
The vibes are indeed high, Saul. Stephen Pearl, I've been calling him Steve. I guess he goes by Steven, even though it's inferior. Steve he's been giving a very respectful review of Arizona all week. He's been saying how excited he is to experience McKale as a head coach. Can you talk about Auburn's performance in this game briefly? Did you see anything out of them, or was it mostly what Arizona was doing to them that got us to this result?
I think there's two things at play here. I will give Auburn and Steven a little bit of credit in the fact that they had just played on Wednesday night against NC State. They only had a day and a half to prepare, which he brought up. He said it's really difficult to prepare for a team like Arizona when they get a week and we only get like a day and a half. That's tough. And it is tough. Like let's just be fair. Now, that doesn't mean that Auburn would have won this game if anything was changed, because they wouldn't have. Arizona by a mile was head and shoulders better than Auburn. Stephen Pearl said that now they've played Michigan and they've played us. And he said that there is no other team in the country that comes as close to these two programs. He feels like Michigan and Arizona are by far the two best teams in the country, which, of course, Tommy Lloyd disputed because we played UConn, and he feels like UConn's pretty good and Florida's pretty good and all this other. He was kind of building up our own resume.
Mullins and Terrace Reed Jr., so if they had those two, we would have got blown out by 100. Have you not heard the UConn fans?
Yeah, well, in the words of Devin Booker, if ifs were a fifth, we'd all be drunk. So it is what it is. So, I don't, again, I think Stephen Pearl gave a lot of praise to Arizona, felt like it was clearly evident that their scouting department was fantastic. They had an answer to every single one of Auburn's moves. Auburn tried to go a matchup zone for a little bit in that first half to try and just throw something at Arizona, and Arizona handled it with ease. There was no problem. The only flaw tonight, systematically, schematically, that I saw was the atrocious, and I do mean atrocious, attempt at a full court press with Tobe Awaka as the lead at the point, and they got absolutely torched on the other end, and it led to a Keyshawn Hall wide open three-pointer in the corner, which he proceeded to score like 5 straight points, and that's when Auburn went up by 5, and that was the last time Auburn had any momentum in that game, because then after that, Arizona was off to the races and basically boat raced Auburn.
Let's talk more about that specific moment. I want to see if you felt the same thing that I felt in the moment. I said this to Damon. Once Tommy Lloyd called that timeout when they went down by 5. When they came back, it was almost as if they said, we got in that huddle and said, you know what? They got the lead in our house. We're not playing around tonight. We're not doing this back and forth with Auburn all night, letting Keyshawn Hall get hot, letting Tahaad Pettiford. We're not doing that. We're going to come out, and this is our last chance to really set the tone for this game and do just that. Do you feel like that was kind of the same thing, or am I overthinking it?
I mean, I didn't feel that. I just felt like Arizona was just better. Like they just were. Like I think one of one of my former colleagues in the past said it was ethical basketball. Like it was. They were very matter of fact. Like I didn't feel like they were like overexerting themselves, or they had to play at a whole nother level, or they had to play above their capabilities. I just thought that they just methodically worked them out. That was it. Like I don't know how else to put it. Like they were by a mile better than Auburn. They could play 100 times, and Arizona's going to win 99 of them. And the only time that Auburn would win is because you had somebody like Pettiford going crazy tonight, and then match that up with maybe 2 other guys that also went the same level of crazy. That's the only way Auburn wins a game like this. Because overall, from top to bottom, front court, back court, and everything in between, even coaching, Arizona was by a mile better than Auburn tonight.
Yeah, on our pregame show, we did our unpacked segment, and Kevin highlights 3 players on the opposing team, and we basically were like, these 3 guys are gonna have to combine for like 80 points tonight. Not actually, but like it felt like it was gonna take a Herculean effort from the 3 leading scorers on Auburn being Keyshawn Hall, Kevin Overton, and Tahaad Pettiford. But I want to get back to Keyshawn Hall. Kevin,
I saw Kevin Overton play last year for Texas Tech. That was never happening. Sorry, go ahead.
He had a good game against Arizona. Didn't you highlight, Kevin?
He did at the Big 12 tournament or something.
He also had a good game the other night. I shouldn't be disrespectful. He had a good game the other night against NC State. I think he had 28. So
yeah, he dropped 28 and Hall dropped 29. Yeah.
But we ain't NC State.
Fact. No, Word up. Fact. Word up.
Kevin did mention how Auburn kind of took that 5-point lead in large part, it was because Keyshawn Hall had back-to-back buckets at a point, and the when that timeout got called, the broadcast was like, "Whoa, don't let Keyshawn Hall get hot here, Arizona." And they were going a little bit nuts about Keyshawn Hall, who is a dynamic scorer, 6'7", can hit you from every level. How did Arizona stop him tonight, Saul? 3 of 11 from the field, only 13 points, but not really an efficient 13 points, had 3 turnovers with no assists as well. What did you see out there defensively from Arizona's standpoint to stop such a dynamic scorer like that?
This is why I think Arizona's coaching staff is one of the elite in the country, okay? There was a point where Keyshawn was starting to go off, and what they were doing down here on this end, on the defensive end, is they would try to put him on a player that maybe didn't require as much effort as everyone else, right? So they try to hide him on Aristode. Then Aristode properly torched him with a 3. Then they started putting him in action, causing him to have to move around a lot more on the defensive end. You have to be active against Arizona. You cannot be passive. There are no guys on this court that you can afford to just kind of take a beat and kind of catch your breath with. That's just not happening on the defensive end. And honestly, if you're an elite basketball player, you should never rest on the defensive end. Coaches will always say, if you need to rest on the offensive side, because we need you on the defensive side. And then on top of that, Ivan Kharchenkov and the rest of the crew, sorry, I got something in my eye, was fantastic defensively. Yeah.
Ken Nakagawa and Chappelle, they got this guy emotional.
Man, Ivan was fantastic defensively against Keyshawn Hall. And then even when Ivan wasn't there, Koa Peat had moments against Keyshawn Hall. And there was a moment, like, Keyshawn Hall's not in the NBA. And I thought, watching him last year, I kind of wondered, why isn't he in the league? Because he's got some good skills. He can play ball. Like, he's a good player. When you look at him try to go around Koa Peat, I'm like, oh, there it is. There it is. The elite athleticism that a guy like Koa Peat has that Keyshawn Hall is just short of. We'll tell you why. Now, he's crafty. Maybe there's a way that he's going to be able to get to the league and still be able to score and do all the things because he's a good player. But defensively, he's a little too soft, too weak. Stephen Pearl even mentioned about how he gets a little complacent on the defensive end, and they were able to take advantage of that. And I think when Arizona came out, they were like, listen, who the weak link is out there. So they pointed out the pigeon and they went after him a couple times. They took advantage of him. And then when that happened and Auburn had no answers anywhere. Before Ohio State played tonight against Indiana, they said Ohio State has answers at every level for what Indiana's going to throw at them. They were wrong. But Arizona is much the same way. Arizona has an answer any way you want to shape it. They were hitting the 3 tonight. They could kill you in the low post. They kill you in transition. They kill you defensively. They kill you on the boards. And tonight they facilitated as a team better than I've seen all season. Like, where is the weak link on this team outside of maybe you want to say turnovers? And I swear to, if I see another silly turnover, I'm going to lose my mind. But that's just the coach in me. Like, I don't like turnovers, but they got through it.
Very good question there from Damon, asking what the people want to hear. I'll ask another thing that the people want to hear about. Champy brings up Braden Burries coming through and getting better. Can you talk a little bit about the growth we've seen from Braden Burries? I would say this is his best game of the year when you consider the actual quality of opponent that he went up against. What did you see from the 5-star recruit tonight?
Yeah, he's finally able to get one. He's finally able to get a confidence builder, because doing it against like Utah Tech and all those other schools is like one thing, but he needed a big dog win, and he did that tonight. I thought defensively he was great, and great without fouling, because we've seen him get into foul trouble and silly fouls here and there, but he was solid all the way around. And Tommy Lloyd talked about how he's just that those aren't gunshots; those are just balloons. He talked about how he just wanted him to adjust to the speed and get into a rhythm. And he's been coaching him about how to find his rhythm within a game. And it looks like the rhythm of the game is finally starting to come to Braden Burries. Tonight, I felt like he wasn't rushed. He wasn't trying to do too much. He just played within himself, played controlled. And I thought absolutely it was his best game of the season. So happy for him to be able to get off. And we've talked about, like, listen, there are still notches for this team to go in terms of their capability. Koa Peat, you could sit there and make an argument that we haven't seen like a complete Koa Peat game since Florida. And he still had 16, 18 points tonight. Like still a solid performance defensively, still good. But this team still has levels that they can go. Aristode has another level that he can go. Kharchenkov has given you everything you need to that you need from a freshman and feels like a veteran. Stephen Pearl talked about he felt like this whole team is, even the freshmen look like juniors and football players because they're just built different. And that's what Arizona's just built different. And everybody slept on them except for us.
Yeah.
Shame on you, America.
Well, in compounding on top of that, I know that it was used as somewhat of a knock on him, but Braden Burries is an older freshman. Like he's physically a little bit more developed than your typical 18-year-old, straggly freshman that gets on campus. Koa Peat is a special athlete for a freshman, especially a college basketball player. Like that's a dude who you just look at and you go, oh my God, that's an NBA player in the making. And then you also have Ivan Kharchenkov and Dwayne Aristode, who are extremely athletic in their own right as well. Like this is a very atypical group of freshmen from a physicality standpoint, no doubt about it. And we do have Tommy Lloyd here talking about Braden Burries and how this was his best game of the season so far.
Good. I thought it was the best rhythm Braden's had in one of these games. We've been talking about rhythm and pace, a lot with Braden, and he's a really good player. But he's learning. And, I think, what I've really been challenging him is kind of, getting out of his comfort zone, increasing his pace, because I think once he gets more comfortable playing at a faster pace, he has great instincts and they'll take over. And so we just we gotta up the RPMs a little bit. And I thought he did that at both ends of the floor tonight. So really happy.
Here's one thing that people will not realize about Arizona that they're going to have to start to game plan around. You look at Jaden Bradley and Braden Burries and you think they're two elite guards and they should probably be leading the team in assists. And then you look at the scorebook tonight and you see the stats and you realize Koa Peat and Kharchenkov had 13 assists between the two of them because those two guys are as much a facilitator as anybody else on that court. They are team players. They make the right play just about every single time down the court, and that's what takes them to another level. But Braden Burries comes in, and he has that ability to be able to distribute, but it gives him the opportunity to not have to force anything, and he could just kind of assimilate himself within the environment and within college basketball, which has taken him a little bit of time to do. And then you see a performance like tonight, which he can only build upon and get better and better and better. And listen, folks, if you think Arizona might be the number one team in the country, just wait until Braden Burries starts cooking. Toast. Everyone. Burnt smells across the country outside of Tucson.
Kevin and I are pretty enamored with this center rotation in particular, and I feel like we know what we have in Tobe Awaka, but the development and emergence of Mo Krivas has been, truly like very needed this season, and I feel like he steps up a lot of times in these big games. And Saul, we did our My Guys draft before the year, and Kevin and I, maybe the fumble of the century, we're telling you like he's not even on our board. Kevin's talking about picking walk-ons before Mo Krivas.
In the My Guy draft.
I bet Kevin is sitting here right now being like, could have had Mo Krivas in that third round. Huh?
That was
good
team.
Value.
I still love my
Saul,
team.
that is, in fact, your guy. I'll give you the opportunity to speak on your guy, Mo Krivas, in the season that he's had thus far.
Full disclosure, he was my questionable guy before the season started, so I did not know what to expect. I didn't like what I saw in the exhibition. I think that's been well noted. But yeah, he's been as solid as you could possibly ask for a guy that has a lot of expectations placed on his shoulders. I think he's played strong. He has been a little bit more assertive offensively. He has not been passive at all, especially against the bigger teams and the stronger teams. He has matched that physicality, if not dictated the physicality on the other end. Like, there's not much more you can ask from Mo Krivas outside of maybe a few more points a game. That's nitpicking because defensively he's been solid. Rebounding wise, been solid. He's been in position. He hasn't given up, bad plays or made, comical fouls or anything like that. He has been everything you could possibly ask for, played as a solid big, which is what Tommy Lloyd expected him to do. That's why, the move from Vasar to Krivas. was what it was. And I know at first everybody was really disappointed that Fairall ended up going to North Carolina, and like, what are we doing? Why did we do that? Whatever. I can see why they did it. They didn't have the minutes for Fairall. And Kev, you know how Corey talks about like how you break down the game and you have, you know, between your starters, you have 300 minutes that you're going to play for a game. Or I'm sorry, did I do that math wrong? 200 minutes. My bad. 200 minutes. And there's only so many minutes to go around. So what Krivas is doing right now is absolutely outstanding. And I actually think he's gonna improve even more, because there's not a lot of teams in the country that can compete with Arizona's size. There's just not. Michigan and Florida might be the only two, and I'll give you UConn a little bit. But even UConn's a little bit shorter than most. That's it. The front court is outstanding, and so it's just, you're happy to see it for the guy. I'll just say that everybody needed to see Krivas play well. He needed to see himself play well. I think he needed that more than anybody else, and I think this first start of the season, now that they're 8-0, has really boosted his confidence and make him, you know, kind of remind him who he really was.
You've heard from Saul. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd, Arizona head coach, about Matías Krivas' development so far.
Mo's a really good player. I mean, his size really impacted the game at the start, I felt like, of each half. Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes maybe our guys aren't doing as good a job as they can finding him on some stuff, but, you know, he kind of really established us offensively. I mean, they came out and, you know, did a kind of a cross-matching thing, you know, that we weren't quite expecting. So we didn't really, our guys figured it out on the court, and, you know, they had number 6 on Mo. So, I mean, our guys kind of settled in, played some old school high-low basketball, and Mo got us going a little bit. So, yeah, Mo's a really good player. And, you know, he's a difference maker out there, you know, as is Tobe. I mean, the combination of those two guys together, I mean, it's, you know, I mean, it's a heavy load for teams to handle.
Sounds like he's been listening to the AZ Wildcats podcast in between hopping on that presser mic in here, because I think Kevin and I were saying the same thing about Tobe Awaka and Mo Krivas.
I think we were, Damon. And we have more with our guy Saul Bookman, and we have more from Tommy Lloyd after this break here.
While you guys go to break, I'm just gonna go shoot some jumpers. So
please.
I mean, if you don't, I'd be upset with you.
Yeah, work on your game a little bit.
Let us know what the percentage is when we are back from our last ad break here on the AZ Wildcats pod. Saul might not want to show his shooting form off these days. Maybe he's a bit rusty. But what you're definitely going to want to show off as he flexes his form in the background is your gear from Rally House. 39 pages.
Well, unless you're Anthony Totri and Eric Ruby.
Ooh.
And then you're hiding from your bet that you made, where you were so happy and so like willing to make me wear Arizona State gear, and yet I'm still waiting on them wearing the Arizona gear. I don't know what's happening, Kevin.
What's cooler than cold? Ice cold. Damon dog tonight. But if you are trying to show off some gear, Rally House is the way to do it. 39 plus pages online of Arizona Wildcats merch and memorabilia, and it's the go-to spot for me, for Damon, for anybody who really loves their team, because they have everything. I'm serious, from lug nuts to dog collars to jerseys to coasters, and anything else you want probably falls somewhere in between. But if you want to find out for yourself, find your local Rally House location and shop their entire product assortment online today, maybe another window right now, at www.rallyhouse.com.
You've heard us talk about it a couple times now on this pod already, and that's because we are just so damn lucky to be sponsored by our friends at Circle K. I say it all the time, name a business that is more synonymous with the state of Arizona than Circle K. I know there's a Circle K within a mile radius of wherever you're at right now if you're in this great state, because Circle K runs this state, and we love Circle K. I made a caffeine stop, Kevin, before I came in to do this podcast, this pregame show today, because I always get my caffeine over at Circle K. It's America's thirst stop for a reason. They have great caffeinated beverages and deals going on. They got a Celsius deal that you can get a part of right now, where you can save 30 cents off per gallon
Wow.
if you
That's a lot.
if you buy 3 12 to 16 ounce Celsius, I think is what we've determined is the plural of that, but 79-cent Polar Pops as well, 99-cent Frosters, and of course the great gas savings, 3 cents off per gallon on your or when you become an Inner Circle member, and then 5 cents off per gallon once you reach premium status. That's all, of course, after you get 25 cents off per gallon on your first 5 fill-ups. It's free to download. It's easy to sign up. Download that free app today. Join the Inner Circle for free. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
You know, I would go back to our regular cam, but Saul Bookman put up the weight, and now he's doing some sort of something in the background. So we're going to get back with Saul.
Let's hit our super chat that we got here.
Yeah, let's hit our
in the
super chat.
meantime.
I love that.
We got Ty Pelly here in the chat. $10. Been a diehard Wildcat fan for 40-plus years now. I've never felt more confident about a team's chances more than this one, except for maybe the 2001 team, which, of course, we all know was just a stacked roster from top to bottom, had no holes, had depth, had Luke Walton coming off the bench, like a 10-year NBA veteran. Like, that team was a special team, and you could see so while it was in its midst. And I feel like we potentially have another one tonight. I do think Saul is now ready to be brought back onto our screen here. What was going on?
Sorry. Listen, Saul loves the kids. And, we had a student from Auburn, a student journalist from Auburn. This is his first time to McKale, and he was kind of, sitting over here on the side and kind of watching me. And I was like, can I help you? And he was just like, oh, could you just take a picture of me? And I was just like, oh, yeah, of course. So, yeah, I took a picture of him so I could take it back home.
Did he have a little accent?
Hey, man, can you think you can take a picture of me out here?
Say, man, I'm just a little old journalist from Alabama trying to cover my team.
I travel with the team, and I love taking some pictures out here. So if you can give me some, I'd really appreciate it, sir.
I said I got it, Coach.
Great win for Texas Tech and Joey McGuire today, by the way. If anyone gets that was when Lance Leopold and Joey McGuire met on the field earlier this season and got into a verbal altercation, which has taken over this office at PHNX Sports. But Saul, I want to talk about the conversation that's kind of taken over the Arizona Wildcats streets, and that's the number one conversation. Is this team number one? Do they deserve to be number one? They probably have the best resume if you're going band for band with every team across the country. How much does it matter to you? You seem like way more of a process guy than like caring about getting your plaudits and awards in the moment. So I have a feeling I know what Saul Bookman's answer is going to be on this, but how do you feel about, the idea that it would be disrespectful if Arizona is not number one come Monday?
I won't say disrespectful because you're right. Like, I don't care. Like, listen, we could be number one right now, but if we don't go to the Final Four, what do I care?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, however, Colin, because it has been so long since we were the number one team in the country, because it has been so long since I could sit here and be like, oh, you know what? I get why that's so important. I see the value in it. It is important. It is important. Listen, Purdue didn't earn it. Purdue didn't earn anything. And then they got boat raced today by Iowa State. They are a post turtle.
McKale Madness, if you don't know what you know.
I mean, if you haven't seen what a post turtle is, I can't help you, but Corey broke it all down and you got to go watch it. Yes, they were a post turtle and they got handled like one today. Okay. Arizona's by far the number one team in the country. The only team that has an argument to make is Michigan, and Michigan handled business this week. Let's just be real about that. They also boat raced this Auburn team just like we did. Okay, so it is what it is, and people are like, well, it doesn't matter. Michigan's really, really good. We're really, really good. We are number two in the country. Number one went down. Pecking order, people, we get to move up. We should be number one in the country because we showed why we are the number one team in the country tonight. And Michigan might be number one at some point this season. I don't expect Arizona to go undefeated this year. But, hey, who knows? Arizona's good. Michigan's good. There's a lot of good teams in college basketball right now.
We got Saul's opinion. Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd.
Because I did ask this question for you guys because I knew you guys would want to know the answer.
Hell yeah. That is teamwork. That is teamwork right there.
Big
Saul.
J, Joel Jookman here. That didn't feel, I don't know, that felt like maybe like that felt like a slur. I don't know why it did, but like sometimes when you're just throwing random, consonants on random words.
I feel like I should be dancing or something like that, Jookman or something like that.
Let's hear from Tommy Lloyd about whether Arizona should be the new number one.
I mean, obviously it's nothing you shy away from. You're at Arizona. You're going to be on the big stage. It's part and parcel, of being at a program like this. But we have bigger things on our mind. We know we have a really tough game next week, against Alabama, who's obviously going to be battle tested. But I mean, I don't know if there's the big gap he's saying. I mean, Michigan's looked unbelievable. The little bit I've seen of them, that UConn team we played is right there. They're really good. But hey, even UCLA, I mean, let's not sleep on them. They're really good, and they win a different style, but it's pretty effective. So, and then Florida's going to be right there. Duke looks really good. I mean, I was texting with John today. I thought he did a great job managing that game, and Michigan State is formidable. So, there's a lot of good, really really good teams, and you look what Gonzaga did, last night against Kentucky. You're like, I mean, I don't know if it's two. I mean, he's played both of us. I mean, he's entitled to his opinion, but we're just going to stay focused on one, and that's us, and trying to go play really well, next Saturday in a tough atmosphere in Birmingham.
Yeah,
love it.
And the he, as he's referring to, is Stephen Pearl, who was saying that there is Arizona and Michigan, and then a whole bunch of empty gapness, and then everybody else. And he would know, as he just entered the octagon, as it is fight night, and got knocked out by both of them. So, he would know. He would know if there's a gap between everybody else in those two teams. But, Saul, we have heard from Tommy Lloyd about a variety of things tonight. But rumor on the streets has it that you have a question for us that you would like to ask?
I do have a question for you, and this is a personal question and a favor to ask you, because I don't know if this is possible. But I saw that you posted a picture of your lovely partner's cake.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Actual birthday cake, not like the other cake, okay?
So, hey, we stream on YouTube, Saul.
Whoa.
We stream on YouTube.
That would have been crazy. And I definitely would not be asking a question about that. But as you may or may not know, my wife has celiacs. So she cannot eat gluten, right? So that cake is off limits. I'm curious to know if maybe by chance she makes gluten-free cakes or gluten-free cookies
Sweets?
or whatever, right? So
certainly, yeah.
If she does, that'd be fantastic. I would love a hookup for your brother. Other than that, that's it.
I mean, we can definitely get that orchestrated for you. No problem, Saul. No problem at all.
Is Erica's. She has claimed it.
Cake,
she claimed it on Twitter. She claimed it in text. She also has now claimed it in the chat of our podcast, just so everyone is clear. But also, having Kevin's partner bake me goods is like my favorite thing about working with Kevin. Like, far and away. He just will bring in, like, I got banana chocolate chip muffins today.
It'll be like,
dig in, everybody. And you're like, this is awesome.
The other day I brought in like cake scraps. Like, she made cake for like some pop-up she was doing, and she had a bunch of like scraps from like cutting the cake and whatever, shaping it, whatever. And I just brought in the scraps. She was like, are you sure you want to bring in like scraps to your coworkers? I was like, yeah, for sure. It's cake. It's cake.
And I did in fact want it.
Let them eat cake.
They some people have asked me, do I miss working with you guys in the office? Do I miss working at PHNX on a day-to-day basis and stuff like that? And I, for the most part, I'm like, working from home isn't bad. You know what I mean? But then there's times, like right now, where I kind of get reflective and I start thinking about all the things that I'm probably missing out on, and I get a little sad. And that's, listen, Saul's all about the cake. So
same here, Saul. I'm man enough to put my hand up and agree with you. Between Kevin's girlfriend, between Leah, and between Max's wife, we have just an assortment of baked goods at all times, it feels like, and it really is. It is a wonderland for sure. But Saul, we appreciate you, of course, for spending your time in Tucson on a Saturday night, going down, watching this game, Arizona beating number 20 Auburn, beating the brakes off of them by 29 points.
Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, just want to give a quick plug for the side gig. Arizona Bowl the announcement will be tomorrow. I'm a Blue Blazer, as you guys know. I'm on the committee. So hopefully we get a good bowl game. And if you have an opportunity to buy tickets for the Arizona Bowl, please. Hey, Max, I don't care. This is a free ad. please buy tickets to the Arizona Bowl. So support the local Tucson community, because we gave back, I think, something like $250,000 worth of grants to a bunch of
Whoa.
charities here in the local area. So everything that we make, we give back to the community immediately. We don't make a dime. I don't make a single dime from this. It's just a volunteer type of thing. And there's so many volunteers in the community that do this. So please, please, please buy tickets, support the cause. Maybe Snoop's going to do something this year. Hopefully he'll perform or something like that. That'd be dope. I haven't heard yet, but we'll see. But hey, that's going to be tomorrow. So it should be fun. So
Yeah,
appreciate you guys.
Excited for the Arizona Bowl for sure. I think there was some preliminary discussions about me and Kevin potentially doing something content-wise with the Arizona Bowl. So if we can make that happen, we will do so. But we are excited for, obviously, the bowl game that gets played inside of Casino del Sol Stadium now every single year. So shout out Saul for his work on that. And also,
I think I get to marshal around, because last year I was the security, or not security, but I was the chaperone for Snoop's dad.
Hell yeah.
Papa Snoop. Yeah, it was pretty dope. It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Does Papa Snoop get down like Son Snoop? Did he have you?
Yeah, he does. I was with him everywhere,
what
but
trying to say?
No. He does have his own brand of that. If you didn't know, so that was kind of cool. I didn't know that, and I learned a lot about him. Vietnam veteran. Yeah, absolutely. Like, props to him, because that's no joke. So like it was really cool. And then I did get to meet Snoop, but not for very long. Snoop knows ball, by the way. That's something I did not realize to the level he knows. Like, he was predicting stuff on the field last year, and I was like, damn, how did you predict that pick six? That's crazy. Like, yeah, legit.
Well,
so
speaking of, no, I don't want to ruin it, but it seems like I've heard that Fresno State is looking like a potential option here for the Arizona Bowl. And Rayshon Speedy Luke, who is transferred from Arizona to kind of go full circle here, played for Snoop Dogg's team when he was playing Pop Warner. So I think it was Justin Spears who tweeted that. Shout out Justin Spears as always. But that's a cool little full circle moment there for this bowl game.
For sure.
Should be exciting. Of course, if you want more excitement in your life, more great basketball breakdown, you're going to have to tune into McKale Madness once a week. Last week it was on a Tuesday. This week it's on a Thursday. It's sometimes it switches around. Be on the lookout for it. But 7 p.m.
Come to Saul's Juke Joint. Come to Saul's Juke Joint. Next Thursday, baby. We getting down. Let's go.
Good. I mean, just a great dance there, Saul. Great
Saul's
dance
Juke
we got
Joint,
going on. Corey Williams, former Arizona basketball player, Saul Bookman, breaking down what they saw from this week in Arizona basketball. Going to be on a Thursday this week at 7 p.m. Make sure that you guys tune in for that. And in the meantime, follow Saul at Saul_Bookman on all social media. Saul, we appreciate you. Safe travels getting back home. And, thanks for hopping on the pod with us.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Appreciate Saul Bookman, as always, for spending his time with us. Kevin, anything else before we get on out of here on a Saturday night at 11:35 p.m.? Because we just love this damn team so much.
Indeed. We do this, it feels like every show, but it's warranted every show. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Like Damon said, late night out here on the West Coast. I know a lot of you Wildcats don't live out here on the West Coast, because this whole country is Wildcat country. So thank each and every one of you guys for tapping in with tonight's show. Feels like real love. It is real love. Thank you. We appreciate it. Leave a like, though. We'd appreciate it even more if you left a like.
We do have one more thing we got to hit here. We haven't done our Love the Play of the game. Kevin, let's do our Love the Play, sponsored by our friends over at Arizona Lottery.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Love Arizona Lottery. Head on over to a Arizona Lottery kiosk and get yourself some holiday scratchers coming up here. Kevin, I'll let you start. What is your Love the Play of the game?
I love the play of the game. I mean, Aristode 3 is a given. Aristode, like, spinning layup and one.
Aristode breathing. Aristode walking.
Aristode makes it to the game.
Aristode
that's my
listening to music, doing shoot around. Basically, whatever Dwayne Aristode does, that's Kevin's play of the game.
Yeah, but I'm really trying to think of which play individually in this one really had me like, oh yeah, like this is what's going down tonight. Maybe that ADO dunk. You know what? It is the ADO dunk, because
fire.
Tobe Awaka and Anthony Dell'Orso come up to the midcourt line, trap, I believe, Tahaad Pettiford. I was thinking it was going to be a jump ball. If there was any longer contact with the ball, like maybe half of a half second, I think it is a jump ball. But it comes out, ADO says, I don't have an Australian accent in my bag. He says, I've got this. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to slam it.
Oi,
I've got this one. Nah, see, it's British. Yeah, it's not in my bag.
We'll
I'm
work
sorry,
on
chat. Yeah, we'll work on it. But I do think, like, that kind of showed in one play a ton of Delhi's improvements, right? The physicality to hold on to the ball in a jump ball kind of situation. I know Tobe was there helping him wrestle it, but you get my point.
Mm-hmm.
The defensive awareness, the offensive awareness, the athleticism, the whole thing. So I think that really kind of encapsulated tonight's game. Auburn just getting taken for their money at half court and Arizona going the other way. That was what happened tonight in one play. That's my love to play of the game.
We already talked about mine, but I'm just going to go ahead and go with Ivan Kharchenkov's freaky ass sticking his tongue out after a three-pointer made. That was electric, and I know that fired up the crowd as well. So shout out to Ivan Kharchenkov in the game that he had tonight.
Whoa.
8 assists, man. Couple threes. You love to see it.
We got people in the chat talking about like the dimensions of Ivan
Listen,
Kharchenkov's
I didn't say
tongue.
anything.
That's
I'll
crazy.
leave that up to the experts here in the chat.
This is crazy, chat. We're wilding out. We got to get out of here.
Sean, 100%. I thought about going no context with the clip that I embedded on our social account and just posting the emoji that Sean put. Just that's what Yvonne was doing, man. Special.
It is.
Well, I mean, listen, another solid outing from the Arizona Wildcats tonight. And this season really, truly has gone to about the dream scenario that you could have hoped for so far in the 2025-2026 season. Arizona has another big one on the horizon, Kevin, in Alabama next week. And that one is going to be a huge one. Saturday against Alabama. Kevin and I got pregame 30 minutes prior to tip. And then, of course, we'll begin postgame coverage of Arizona versus Alabama. And that one's in Birmingham, number 12 Alabama now. So no longer a top 10 opponent.
I ain't worried.
But 7:30 p.m. Is the tip-off for that game. So 7 p.m. we'll be doing pregame coverage. And then right after the game ends, we will be giving you postgame coverage. In the meantime, we'll be giving you a live show 4 times this week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, where we'll be doing our typical Arizona Wildcats podcast that we do daily over here, 2 p.m. Make sure that you guys tune in for that one. AZ Catch G with a, speaking of typical, AZ Catch G with a typical buzzer beater here to end out this one. $2. Good job tonight, guys. Appreciate you, my man. Always representing here in the chat. And, of course, a great time to be an Arizona Wildcat, Kevin. It is truly, truly a special basketball team that we are covering right now, and we cannot wait to provide you guys with more coverage all throughout the rest of the year. So subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Rate and review on your favorite podcasting platform if you're an audio listener, or if you're watching on YouTube and you just want to help your boys out a little bit. Those audio podcast reviews do so much. And then, of course, like this video as always. Kevin, anything else before we get out?
No, thank you everyone for watching. We are the number 1 team in the nation. How lucky are we that we get to watch this game against a top 25 team? And as Lion in the chat says, barely even break up a sweat. I'm breaking up more of a sweat yapping about this game on the postgame show
100%.
than I did watching it out there in the viewing area. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what greatness looks like on the basketball court. Thank you for tapping in. Let's get on out of here.
One last thing actually popped in my head here, and I'm just looking up at the score bug, and it popped in my head. AU is Auburn. U of A is U of A, is Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get this very clear. You got a lot of people thinking it's Arizona University.
Oh.
Idiots. Tune into this postgame show. Look at the corner bug and learn something. Learn a thing or two. Auburn University, that is AU. UA is Arizona. U of A is Arizona. Everybody knows it. Get it right.
I love it. That's a great way to end
Tired
the
of
show.
the
Little
disrespect,
shots
man.
fired. Little shots fired. Where did 3 amigos?
Yeah, you know what? Damn it. I'm just
You know what?
everybody.
I'm chugging the bottle.
We're going to break into that right after we get off the air here. And, of course, we will catch you on a Monday at 2 p.m. But in the meantime, peace out. Bear down.
And go Cats. I said it that time.
We all silly like the mayor.